So if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, then you know that I had an AeroGarden farm and I got rid of said AeroGarden farm, made a whole video about it. I'll link that up above. And then guys, I just went out and bought another one. So I kind of feel like I need to explain why I would get rid of one and then buy another one. And just before I did not throw the other one in the garbage. I gave it to my darling little sister, and she is growing many, many things and is very, very happy. But why get rid of one and buy another one? Let me explain. Before I had the AeroGarden Farm Plus, the 24 pod one, which you do not use to grow 24 things, but I digress. And one of the things that I absolutely loved about the farm is the fact that the light raises and lowers. And in the 24 pod model, I like the fact that you could run different pHs because it has 2 different grow bowls. But I always kind of regretted getting the plus. So in case you don't really know the AeroGarden Farms, there's kind of like 3 sizes. There's the basic, which grows up to 1 foot. There's the plus, which grows up to 2 feet. And then there is the Excel, which can grow up to 3 feet in height, which, as of recording this video, that is the highest grow height that I am aware of for a system that you can grow at home. I was looking on Amazon, as one is prone to do, and I happened to go over to the AeroGarden page, and part of the reason was because AeroGarden was coming back. I did a whole video on how it was dead and then it was alive. You can find those on the channel. And so because it was back, I was just curious to see what was in the AeroGarden store on Amazon. And I saw it. The one thing that I said if I was ever going to get a farm would be the one that I would get. It was the AeroGarden Farm XL 12. So you can grow 12 things in it. I'm only going to be growing one. It was like almost 50% off, guys. So obviously I had to get it. And so that's what I did. And that's what we're going to set up. And I'll give you a little insight into my thinking on why I bought it again and what I'm going to be growing in it. So let's get this bad boy set up. I'm very excited. We have the manual, the assembly guide. We have, in this one, I got the salad bars, so lettuce and herbs. And yeah, here it is. So I'm going to get it all out, lay it all out on the ground, and then I'll show you what's in here and how to put this together. All right, so there we have everything. The top part of the unit, the light, 2 braces, some bits and bobs, the bottom where we grow things, the seed pods, a recipe card, an assembly guide, a quick planting guide, and the 2 really long grow arms. So before I get going, I've done this before, but you should always check the instructions. So I'm gonna take a quick look at the instruction guide just to make sure we are all good. The assembly guide just fell apart, but I'm seeing that it actually comes with a trellis there, and that is in here in with the bits and bobs, and it's magnetic and it clicks on. So really good if, like in this unit, I guess I could grow some peas because it's really tall. And you would definitely need this, or even if the tomatoes are getting a little bit unruly, you could use this to rein them in, but we're not going to need this right away. So I will stash this away when we're done, and I'll show you where, because there's something else hiding that I want to make sure that you guys know about if you are getting one of these units. So we'll set this aside for now and get to building. All right, so one of the things, and I've already done it, you saw it when I was showing you all the pieces, I have it on carpet, and we're actually gonna start by building this upside down, so you're gonna wanna make sure that it's protected. It shows you on the instructions, we have it flipped upside down with the screen facing towards us. And then there is a notch in the back. I wanna make sure that's facing the back. And then we're just going to slide these on, and then we will screw them in. There is the notch facing the back. And they just slide right in. So we're going to take 1 washer and one of these nuts, slide it in, and I'm just going to finger tighten it. And then I will use the Allen key that's given just to make sure everything's tightened down. The struggle is real today, guys. On the side, there's a little compartment here, and we need to tighten in some screws in here. In here, not these holes here, but in these holes here, we are going to put a washer and one of these bolts. We're just going to go right in here. So this is just securing this plastic piece here to the metal arms that we just put on. There's not much space to work in. Okay, so there's the one side attached. And while not hard, that was annoying AF. Definitely take off the little door guys because there's not a lot of room to work in there and it is really fiddly. Like the Allen key kept slipping out, but stay with it. Just make sure you are not stripping the screw and just take your time. Not hard, just annoying. And then to put it back on, there are just those little clips, and then it's just going to click into the two holes here. And there we go. It just pops right back on. Okay, so same thing on the side, but, and then hiding inside, we have this little tube. And honestly, when I had set up my Farm Plus, I took this outside aside, I popped it back in and didn't think of it again. But you shouldn't do that because it's actually really handy. So if you don't want to mimic trying to make it to the freezer with an ice cube tray full of water, but much heavier, then you can actually attach this to the pump, use the reverse pump feature, and then you can pump this out into a bucket, which may be a bit easier to carry to the sink to dump out. So very handy. Don't forget about ye old tube. But now I need to go fight with the Allen key for a little bit and attach on this other arm. One thing I definitely noticed that on both sides of the arm, one side was easier to put in than the other. So for me, this one at the back was easier and this one at the front was harder. So I'd suggest you just find whichever one's easiest to put in. Maybe that's just on my unit, but test them out and put in the easier one first so you have it more secure. And then tackle the harder one. And there we go. She's tall. I'll peel this off later for some of you. That may be triggering, but I'm going to peel it off. So now what we're going to do is we have to put the braces, which is these guys. So the one side went on, the other side's going to require a wee bit of muscle. I'm actually going to put them both on right now, I think. There we go. Same thing with the screws. One washer, one screw. This is really easy to put together. Try and do it this way first, then you can switch to here where you have more leverage and tighten them up. That step is done. All of the bolts are in and all tightened down. So now we need to get these bars attached up there with those plugs that are on either side. In there, one side's a square and one side's round, so we'll line her up. So that is that side in. Then on this side, we have a little prong and a USB. Those are just going to go in there, so I'll do the prong first. That's usually the one for the pump, and that's in. And now the USB. Let's see if I can get it in the right way the first time. Oh, time to go get a lottery ticket. Okay, so now it is telling me to move it to its final location before finishing, but of course I'm not going to listen because I wanted to show you guys finishing it up here. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to put the water bowl on the one side I have the power cord, then on that side I have two plugs coming out. On the back of the unit it sticks out on the glow bowl, and this is the front where it's all rounded, and then stuck in here I have two cords, and these are going to attach to those guys in a second. On the bottom of this there are two grooves, and that's going to fit on top of those rails to keep it secure. There it's in, and then now we just need to connect these. One is a prong, one has a hole on it. On the receiving end, that one's got a hole, so that's going to go with the prong, and it clicks in. And on this one is a hole, that one's got a receiver in there, and that clicks in. Super easy, not much in the way of instructions, but it's just rubbery, and you can actually kind of pull it apart. I'm just going to slide this over those, and there, just slid it on, tuck it out of the way. So we had these two guys, and you have them here as well. So they go in the holes, and those holes there, you can use that if you want to put in an AeroGarden cord and add a bit more water to the garden. But these ones are actually going to be used to attach light, because we haven't done that yet. We're going to pull all of these out, and then we're going to attach in the light cord in there, and then we're going to pop these back in. So you see there, they come out, and then we're going to attach them back in. And then the other thing to keep in mind, on the light, on one side there is the attachment, and we had this other cord. So you want to make sure you get it on the right side. You can see there's a connection point there, so you're going to want to make sure you orient the light so you can plug it in on that side. All right, so I have taken all 4 of them out, and now we need to get them attached. So we need to untape those guys, because those are what's going to go in here, and double checking that you have the connection point on the same side where it's going to need to go. And then you can slide these in. Put the camera where I'm hopefully going to be able to show you guys. Lift up the light, and then the little nub, it slides in, and then it's going to go forward into a little notch. Make sure you get it in the notch, and then just push in the stopper. First one is easy to get in. The second one, not so much. Well, that was a pain in the butt. It's not quite straight. One of the cords is out more than the other, but once we get it plugged in and raise and lower the lights, that should sort itself out. I just need to connect the cord. So we have the 2 extra screws, the 2 washers, and the 2 extra hole covers left over. For this, both ends look to be the same, so I'm just going to connect it up. And when you're raising and lowering the lights, you want to make sure it doesn't get caught up on that. And then we're pretty much there, guys. The main reason that I got this unit was so that I can grow tomatoes all year round, like not cherry tomatoes. I want the big ones for salad, for sandwiches, for BLTs, for all that good stuff. I'm hoping I don't need to go and buy any more tomatoes like ever again. Because during the summer, they're going to be growing in my outdoor garden, but in the winter, I'm going to be relying on this guy. And I'm very excited about that, because if it's one less thing I have to go get at the grocery store, then that is a win. I'm going to be looking to grow an indeterminate dwarf. I do not want to grow a determinate plant in here. It would be fine for the height, but determinate plants, they're typically the ones you would use for sauce, like aromas or things like that. When you're making sauce, you want all of your fruit at the same time, which is what the determinate plants tend to give you. Indeterminate plants are the ones that can grow to be like 14 feet high, and they only die when the frost kills them, which obviously would not work in here, because although I have 3 feet of grow height, that's still 11 feet shy of a 14-foot plant. By choosing an indeterminate dwarf, my hope is that the dwarfing will keep it about 3 feet, but it's going to be producing and keep producing fruit as it grows. When the production seems to be going down, I'll be starting another one up so that it can take the place of the one that I'm taking out. So the plan for this unit is to only grow 1 plant at a time. And if you're curious about what this is, do not go and pull that up when the pump is running, because, my friends, that is where the water will shoot out of. Because this grow deck is actually hollow and the water cycles around, and that's how it's able to come out of these holes. So it's really important that you clean this. And if you want to know how to clean this properly, then you can check out this video over here.